So welcome back everybody. Today topic is horizontal projectional motion. So oblique projectional motion I will explain in next video. So in horizontal projectional motion, so the particle is projected from the height of the tower H horizontally. That means here the vertical velocity is 0 and anyhow Ax is not 0 because no net force acting along this direction. Ay is equal to gravitational field, that is gravity acceleration due to gravity, and here Sy is equal to vertical displacement, that is height of the tower. Sy is equal to height of the tower object is square. And range is equal to horizontal velocity into time. If same thing in oblique projection, it will be ux. That means u cos theta into t will come. So here it is like uy is equal to 0 means it is dropped body freely falling from h height. So in this direction, y direction, it is dropping case, freely falling case. So then freely falling case, time of flight or time of descent is equal root over 2h by z in freely falling case. And this time you substitute now r equal to u into root over 2h by z. So in motion, whatever the motion, 1D, 2D, projectile motion, whatever the motion, only we have to find out the relation between four quantities. So overall the motion, the quantity S, U, V, T and A. These five quantities, the relation, how they are related. So about these five quantities only explanation is called kinematics. In kinematics, we study about the motion. So now here Ay, Ax, Sy, Sx, Uy, Ux, Vy, Vx. So these are all quantities. So x and y represents here respect to axis, x axis and y axis. So now here V bar is equal to velocity at any point is equal to velocity at any instant can be written as Vx I cap plus Vy j cap. So now Vx is equal to the velocity along horizontal, that is equal to only Ux, Ax into T 0. Vy equal to G into T because Uy is equal to 0. So magnitude of velocity V equal to root over Uy square plus Vx square plus Vy square, that is U square plus G square T square. So this is. So now the velocity after some time making some angle theta with horizontal. So this is the velocity after some time making some angle with horizontal. This velocity direction of the velocity making some angle with horizontal. Then tan theta is equal to Vy by Vx, means vertical component by horizontal component. From the diagram you can understand. So Vy we know that is Gt by U. So now velocity reaching the ground can be calculated. V square is equal to U square plus V square minus U square equal to 2as formula. According to that we will get V square equal to U square plus 2gh. H is equal here height of the tower. So this is about horizontal projection. Only these points are there. So now some applications on horizontal projections now we will see. In that first one, from the height of the tower, some distance, some height h. So one bomb is explodes into two pieces, or two projectiles are projected horizontally as shown in the figure like this. U1 with U1 velocity and U2. Initially velocities are U1 and U2. So maximum of the cases, the bomb is exploded after reaching maximum height or some certain height. The bomb is exploded into two pieces, two fragments of equal masses, equal fragments. That means velocity is also equal. According to conservation of momentum, velocity is also equal will come. So that and all in applications you will see. So here two particles are projected with velocity u1 and u2 as shown in the figure. u1 and u2. So u1 is equal to plus I cap, u2 is equal to minus I cap. So now the questions here, four synapses you have to study. That is, the time after v1 is perpendicular to v2. They are asking time after v1 is perpendicular to v2. Next one, time after displacement vector are perpendicular. After what time? Next, distance when velocities are perpendicular. Next one, distance when velocities are perpendicular. Next, distance between those two particles when displacement is perpendicular. These four synapses you have to study. I will explain you now. So now here if you see clearly, so you know velocity vectors are perpendicular means dot product between them is 0. Dot product between two perpendicular vectors is 0. So that means first to find out v1. I'll take it. Find out the v1, v2 and dot product of v1 dot v2. So 0 if you do means u1 into I dot I, j dot j will find out. Then you will get t is equal to root over u1 u2 by g. So this is time when two velocity vectors are perpendicular. So similarly displacement vectors. Find out the displacement. So from the diagram displacement is, so x1 is the distance, horizontal distance or displacement. x1 and x2 are horizontal distance and displacements. And here y, some y if you will take from this. So this is sy. So now displacement is like this. So displacement is equal to, I can go xi cap plus y into minus j cap. Means here x1 and x2 horizontal displacements and y is vertical displacement of gt square. So now s1 equal to u1 into t x value, x1 value and x2 value. So now velocity displacement are perpendicular means s1 dot s2 is equal to 0. So dot product between these two. After doing I dot I, j dot j, you will get t is equal to 2 into root over u1 u2 by z. So here keep this point in mind. When velocity vectors are perpendicular, root over u1 u2 by z. When displacement vectors are perpendicular after some time, that is equal to 2 into root over u1 u2 by z. So difference you understand. Now distances. From the above diagram, velocity vectors are perpendicular x1 plus x2. Displacement is or distance between that particle is equal x1 plus x2. Displacement means x1 bar minus x2 bar I have to go. So that is s1 and s2 already in the above I have explained. So distance means addition x1 plus x2. Horizontal distance between those two particles after some time. Then u1 plus u2 into t. Similarly, displacement vectors perpendicular, then distance between those two particles is this way. u1 plus u2 into t. The t equal to 2 root u1 u2 by g. When velocity vectors are perpendicular, t is equal to root u1 u2 by g. Distance we find out. Displacement we find out. Displacement vectors are perpendicular means after what time you find out. And velocity after what time. And any instant velocity. And next original projection quantities. All quantities how to derive. Now some problems we look into problematic problem method approach. So now see as we discussed that. So here when perpendicular means you know when two velocity vectors are perpendicular means you know the t is equal root over u1 u2 by g. But here vectors is inclined at 60 degrees. So then asking to find out the horizontal distance between two To find out the horizontal distance between two fragments, so first of all write down the displacement vectors S1 and S2. Why means, so we don't know the time how much taken. So horizontal distance, if you complete the diagram like this, so after t seconds, those two will come like this. So this is the distance between them. So x2 and x1, x2 plus x1. We know that is clearly. But to find out the distance, horizontal distance between these two fragments, you must know the time, right? So to find out time, here see clue I have given. The angle between the displacement vectors is, vectors will apply. Cos theta is equal to S1 dot S2 by S1 and S2. Magnitude of S1 and S2. So S1 displacement vector, how to write already in the previous step I explained. And magnitude, from the vector magnitude root over x square plus y square, because it is x and y related. So now from this, if you find cos 60 is equal to 1 by 2, here cos 60, any theta is given that. Perpendicularly, theta is equal to 90, already we know t is equal to 2 root over u1 u2 by g. You know this. When theta is equal to perpendicular 90, theta is 90 degrees. Then t is equal to 2 root over u1 u2 by g. But theta other than 90 are 0. Means 0 means 1 you will take here, same process. So any angle other than 90, any other angle, theta if it is given, so cos theta is equal to S1 S2 by S1 and S2. So now t value will get this is. So now distance is asking, then S1 plus S2, that equal to substituting t value and u value is given in the question. The values given values are substituting, you will get answer 480 into root 3 meters. Similarly now, the velocity vectors are, so if you see observe clear, velocity vectors v1 and v2 are making angle 120t. So this is the equal fragments. The bomb explodes into equal fragments. That means velocities are equal. Conservation of momentum. According to conservation of momentum, 0 is equal to m1 into u1 plus m2 into u2. So that equal to m1 and m2 are equal means u1 equal to u2 will become from this. So then one is positive direction I cap, another one is minus I cap. So now the velocity vectors are making, so after some time this is a velocity vector here. So v1, sorry v2 this is. So now this is v1 in the direction, tangential direction. The angle between these two vectors is given, 120 is given. So then how to find out the distance between those two particles? So now same. First you have to find out the time. So you have to find out the time here as above discussed. Cos theta is equal to v1 dot v2 by v1 and v2, and you will get t is equal to this formula. The distance is equal to s1 x1 plus x2. So this is easy. So that equal to u1 plus u2, that equal to 2u. Both are same, not 2u into t. So that equal to 2u square by root 3 into g. So this is distance. I stopped here the question with only time. After what time? The velocity vectors make angle 120. Or time is how much when they are inclined at 120. Or the distance is how much between them. So like that you can find out. So next model of the problem. If two thin screens are there here, as shown in the figure, this is screen 1 and this is screen 2. So here given screen A and B in the question. Separation between them is 200 meters and bullet is traveling horizontally at a speed 600 meters second was hit a screen A at one point. Screen 1, this is A and B. So at one point. So now it is penetrating through it and finally emerging out from the point B, making a hole in A and B. So here it is making a hole in A, horizontally traveling with 600 meters second inverse and coming out of this screen B. So he's asking what the separation between these two holes. The resistance of air is negligible. The distance offered, the difference of heights of holes in the screen A and screen B. So this is question mark. This distance is question mark. So here some data is given, horizontal distance is given here. Horizontal velocity is given. From the given we can find out that t is equal to 1 by 3 seconds. From the given horizontal distance, I can find out t as 1 by 3 seconds. So now t is equal to, I know, root over 2h by g, then h is equal to answer will come. So this much easy. So if you understand the question, the physics makes answers itself. Question itself, answers are there in the physics. First only the thing is understanding after substitution. So now next model problem here. So next question see here. So there are two towers are there here. So one is A and B towers. The distance between A and B is 8 meters is given here. And from tower A, one is projected with horizontal velocity 8 meters second inverse. So here another one is projected with some angle. Theta is equal to 45 angle with a horizontal. So this is the projection velocity V0. So the questions are when they will meet, where they will meet, what are the coordination of this meeting point. In the time of flight, these two particles are colliding somewhere. So this is the application actually related to oblique projection from the top of the tower. So this is the combination of application from top of the tower, oblique projection and horizontal projection. These two are horizontal projection means uy is equal to 0. So oblique projection means with some angle with horizontal. So that is already you know. So this is a combination problem. So even though I will explain here and that concept I will go in the next class. Next explanation, two cases from oblique from the tower, oblique projection from the tower. So now if you see here, they are asking coordinates and time. They are asking and V0 value also they are asking. V0. V0 is equal to question mark initial velocity from the tower to and coordinates when they collides. What are the coordinates from the ground? They are asking from the ground and theta value they have given. Time after what? Time is also asking question mark. Time at what time they are going to collide. T is equal to question mark. So these are going to find out. So now from the concept of horizontal projection and projection from the tower, x1 is equal to 8 into t, x2 is equal to v0 cos 45 into t, because this is horizontal distances. When the two particles are collided at a point C, consider at point C they are colliding. So then x1 and x2 are horizontal distances traveled by these two projectiles. So now x1 plus x2 is equal to distance between towers A and B, that equal to 8 equal to 8t plus V0 cos 45 means V0 by 2 into t. This is equation 1 consider. So now we know here, so it is projected with 45 degrees. That's why. So if you see here, so they are colliding here by the first projectile traveling x distance. So the displacement is traveled by the vertical displacement traveled by the projectile 1 is x displacement. So then the second projectile will travel in the same time 4. So second one travel 4 plus x. So therefore 4 plus x is equal to displacement. So v sine 45, that means v naught by root 2 into t plus object t square. All are positive only because so initial velocity direction is downwards only. So positive only I will take. And object t square. And we know x is equal to displacement or distance traveled by the first projectile in downward motion with uy is equal to 0. Here uy is equal to 0. And ux is equal to 8. So this is clear. So therefore x is equal to object t square. So now this object t square get cancelled. V naught into 2 by t is equal to 4. So now this 4 is substituted in the equation 1. This is equation 2. Now 2 in 1. Second equation, first equation. You'll get t is equal to 0.5. Then t value are substituting in second equation. You are getting V naught value is equal to 11.28 meter second inverse. And here distance or coordinates is asking. C coordinates are, if you see C is along x axis x1 and along y axis 2 minus x. So here I can consider y or x, that is equal to 2 minus x. So coordinates of C are, one is x1. X1 is equal to, we know, of x1 equal to 8 into t, 8 into t, and y displacement are 2 minus x. Here x I have taken, x I can go. X is equal to 2 minus object t square. So that equal 2 minus, substituting these values 5 into 1 by 4, that equals 0.75. These are the coordinates from the ground. These are. So coordinates from top means 4, 1.25. So from top of the tower, from top. So this is from ground. So coming to next question here, the projection, horizontal projection. So this question is like steps. The ball is horizontally thrown on, it is coming down on the steps. And here rebouncing, that and all we have to neglect. The time taken to rebounds and all we have to neglect here. It is directly coming horizontally from top of the floor to ground floor. Last step, first step to last step, or last step to first step, whatever. So it is coming from certain height. So here each step horizontal distance is x and vertical distance is y. So then there are n steps are there, means r is equal to nx will come. The range is equal to n times of horizontal distance of each step. X is the each step distance nx. Similarly, h is equal to ny, means h, vertical displacement. So now nx is equal to u into t. So t we know, t is equal to root over 2 ny by g, means 2h by g, h is equal to ny. Substituting you will get answer. So now if you see here one conclusion, x is equal to u into root over 2 y by g. Y is vertical distance and x is equal to horizontal displacement. Then path trajectory y is equal to g by 2u square into x square. Similarly, if you see this is in oblique projection also, y is equal to tan theta into x minus g by 2u square cos square theta into x square. This is the path trajectory for oblique projection. So this is, I can go with uxy, uy. Sorry, uy by ux into x I can take here. And this is ux. So here also see this is ux square. So to remember formulas, comparison, horizontal projection, oblique projection, the projection from the top of the tower, and projection from inclined plane, all these things, the comparison. So remember formulas, everywhere the same thing. So simplifications, after simplifications you will get the common formulas like this. So now this is path trajectory y is equal to g by 2u square into x square.